Poetry has the power to pull people together around borders and across cultures. This is the story of former female searcher and combat veteran Butierries and female Afghan activist and refugee Bayat, who connected through poetry with a shared love for humanity in their efforts to raise awareness and promote positive change for the sisterhood in Afghanistan.
Let's start at the beginning. Lori, how did you meet Crystal? How did the two of you meet?
Well, Allie, believe it or not, it's a small world thanks to places like Instagram and Facebook. And that's how I met Crystal, was through Instagram. I had written a couple stories about her and I tagged her, and I'm just randomly, I didn't know her. I had never met her, and I just happened to find her account. And I was like, you know what, why not? Because I thought it would be important for her to know the impact that she was having on others around the world, specifically myself. And so when she reached out to me in response, I was beside myself with excitement because I kind of idolized Crystal. She's younger than me, but age is just a number. Age means nothing. It's all about what you do, who you are. And I admire this woman greatly. And for her to contact me back, I just was beside myself with excitement. And that's how our relationship began, through Instagram and the stories that I had written about her.
Wow. And you're right, it is a very small world, and IG just makes it that much smaller. So let's get right to this. Lori, your poem, I Am a Million Voices. It's a poem that became a movement for Afghan women to be seen and heard. What inspired you to write this piece and others about Crystal and Afghan women in general?
Sure. Crystal was my inspiration. But to go back, though, to how she became my inspiration, it was when the U.S. and NATO forces were pulling out of Afghanistan. I was beside myself. In fact, I get emotional just thinking about it. It was such a hard time to witness that and see people scared and suffering. People that, when I was in the military, I went over to try to help. And after 20 years, I went early on in 2004, but after 20 years, just thinking like, what was the point of this? Why are we leaving like this? Not that we couldn't leave, that we shouldn't leave, but just the way that we left. And then how we gave it back to the Taliban. I was just beside myself with grief. And I just thought there was no hope for Afghanistan once the Taliban took it back over. And then I watched this TV broadcast of this woman named Crystal Bayat protesting down the streets in Taliban territory, and I just couldn't believe what I was witnessing. I had never been so scared or so proud of another human being in my life, because she had nobody there, no allies, no guns, no weapons, just her voice speaking out against this injustice, and it just inspired me. And that's where I'm a Million Voices came from, because she had told the reporter that she was speaking up for the millions of women who couldn't speak for themselves. They're too afraid. And I love that. I just thought that was just such a strong statement. And that is what inspired that particular poem.
Wow. I think we all need a moment after that. Switching gears, Crystal, after hearing that, after this relationship that you've developed with Lori, after hearing what she shared just now, what impact has Lori's poems, her words, had on you?
Thank you, guys. It's an honor to be among you guys and share my story and the feeling that I have for Lori's poems. So Lori's poem have been had a beneficial effect on me. I was strongly motivated by her poems. Sometimes it can have positive or negative effect, but I can say like it has totally positive effect on me, because it's not only the pain in my heart, it's the pain she shared the pain of million Afghan women through these poems. It's the and with one poems it speak about all Afghan women, what they are carrying, that they cannot be heard by the world. And as a writer, I can connect with related to the poetry very quickly. So it took my heart. it's I shared with everyone that whom I know, and it was just like, Crystal, can you introduce us with this women? So they wanted to have. I want Lori to write more about Afghan women, and I really appreciate her time, your time, to give for us to speak about. No matter, like, resistance for me is not only one type to have weapon and fight against the Taliban and these evils. I think the writing, the speaking, any kind of platform can be a type of resistance against this evil. So thank you, Lori, and thank you, Allié, for standing with Afghan women and helping them to be heard by the world.
It is an honor and a pleasure. Yes, Lori?
No, all I wanted to say is I really just wanted to amplify your voice, Crystal, yours, and like you said, and all the other Afghan women out there who are being overlooked by the world. It's unfortunate, but it's true. And so if I can do that for you, it'd be an honor.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. You know, so onward and upward, right? Here we go, not alone, together. Crystal, what are your personal hopes and plans for moving forward? Where do we go from here?
First of all, I want to say that there is sometimes I hope a lot, I dream a lot, but sometimes I'm thinking like I should take a plan for it. So I have a lot of hope to see my Afghanistan, my country, to be free from the hand of the terrorists, to work for the women who are not aware of their rights, who cannot raise their rights, who cannot have access to their fundamental rights. This is my ultimate goals and hope. But my plan is to stand right now with Afghan women and to be a voice for Afghan women, to be heard by the world. I don't think that we should go on a political side, but I need our voice should be heard by the nation of the world. That's very important for us, that the people should know that what's going on in Afghanistan with the women who cannot go to school, the women who cannot go to work. They are like a bird that their wings are cut by the international community and putting them back in the cave. So I want to be a voice for them. I want to be helpful at this time for them, because most of these women, as Lori mentioned, that she served in Afghanistan, they were military and they were most of them are widows that lost their husband during the war in Afghanistan. So these women are the only breadwinner of their parents and their families and their kids. So they are unable to feed their children right now. I want to be somehow through my foundation to help these. I established recently my foundation called this Crystal Bayat Foundation. I want to send food to Afghanistan. I want to help them, and most those people who work with the US government and they are on the high risk, I want to evacuate them right now. But definitely my ultimate goal is to see Afghanistan free from the hand of the terrorists, and we have peace in our country. Our people have a thirst for the peace.
And it's a beautiful goal, it's a beautiful dream, and a dream that's shared by many and many more to come upon hearing your words and hearing your story. And you know,
I just want to share for Lori, because Lori feel like we went in Afghanistan and it was just a waste. I want to make you guys sure, and the people who are listening to me right now, that it wasn't a waste. The presence of United States made me and my generation for a better. That's why we're not giving up on our rights, on our freedoms, on our life. Before that, when the Taliban came in Afghanistan, everyone gave up. Everyone sat at their home. But right now, women are on the front line and fighting for their rights and for their freedoms. That's how the United States impact the Afghan people and Afghan new generation.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's so needed. So no, it was not for nothing. What the 20 years gave something that can't ever be taken away, and that is hope.
Yes. Can I add to that real quick?
Please.
Crystal, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I had written about that, but I did not state it. And you are right. It was not a waste. That was just the thought, like when everything was happening, everything was falling apart and, you know, your heart is breaking. Like, what was the point? What was the point? Right. And I had remembered a previous conversation with a woman in 2004 from the mountains. And she had told me, you know, why would we want change? But that was in 2004, 20 years of being in, you know, in Afghanistan, huge difference, especially with your generation. And I knew when I saw you marching down the street that you were why it was worth it. Not just you specifically, of course, but what you represent, the women, the people that you represent, your country. Okay, there was room for change. Change was wanted. The possibility existed, you know, and that made all the difference in the world. And that is what was the inspiration. Because you just happened to be the face, right? You happened to be the face, that voice that was out there putting herself, her life on the line, but you spoke for everybody. And you could see that as the groups of people were marching behind you and the people that are rallying, you know, that we talk about and we hear about in your speaking engagements and that are flocking to your page, like people are receptive, people want it. And I just want to say it was worth it to me personally. And you are proof of that.
Thank you, Lori. Yeah, I think that 20 years is in a one perspective, if we see, it's a long time, but in another, to build a democratic country, it's just, we were a budding democracy. For the United States, it took, so it was created in 1774, and it took almost 200 years for women to get the right to vote. But ours, in our country, we had all this achievement within 20 years, which is, I think it's, we had numerous changes in our society. So I just want to mention that it wasn't a waste. We were working hard. We brought so many changes, and we got so many achievements within 20 years in Afghanistan.
It's beautiful.
Well, and I love that you made that comparison too, just to say, let's be real about this, and let's acknowledge and honor the progress that was made, and the progress that's worth fighting for, that's worth sustaining. Thank you so much for sharing that, how you did. It really gives perspective that I think a lot of us just don't see. You know, as we close this conversation, ladies, I would love to do so with a message to open doors, again, of hope for Afghan women everywhere. I'd love to hear from each of you what words you have for Afghan women who feel unseen, who feel unheard, who feel like that bird in that cage. Crystal, how about you start out? What would you say?
I just want every woman, even if not men, the women who are listening to my voice, stand with Afghan women. Do not leave them alone. They need you at this time. I can't say it a lot because there are lots of things that I want to share, but just be with them, be kind with them. Even the women who are here, they all had a dream in Afghanistan and were working hard to build these dreams. But right now they're unable. If they're coming here, anyone who see an Afghan women refugee in here, just be kind with them and create an opportunity for them to pursue their dream again. And for women who are in Afghanistan, it's just we people, through the speaking engagement, through any kind of platform that we can raise their voice, share their pain, their miseries, that what's going on the ground and what they are going through, would be very helpful. And I, on behalf of Afghan women, I personally thank you both that giving this opportunity for Afghan women to share their stories, their pain. Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. It's an absolute honor. And yeah, please just know you are not ever alone, and you will never be. Lori, what would you like to add?
I would just like to say to my sisters, and that is how I feel about them, that we are in this together. This is not just a you thing, this is a woman thing. And it makes me feel very protective towards you. And like I want to swoop in and take care of you. And I can't do that. What I can do is support you from my area of the world. And I can amplify your voices, continue to speak out, continue to fight for those rights, and don't lose that hope. As long as you breathe hope, you never know what's around the corner, what can happen the next day. It's just, life is crazy like that. You just never know. So hope, that's the one thing the Taliban can't take from you, whether you are there underneath the rule or whether you are a refugee, is they cannot steal your hope. So just hold on to that with both hands and run with it. Join those organizations, use your voices, speak out. Don't go silent into the night. The silence gets no one anywhere. And people are listening. It's just unfortunate that it's not being shown in the news. But you know what? We'll do our part and we'll try to make it be known through avenues like this or others. It's a group effort, and I want you to know that you are people I care about. And I can go on like Crystal forever, but I just want to wrap that up just real quick and just say that my hope is with you as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Crystal. I'm so glad I'm not on camera right now because my mascara is all over my face. Thank you so much, both of you, for helping all of us become a bit more aware now. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.